sit back. Okay. How's everybody doing?
Toasty.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll try and be really quick. Again, just thanks for coming out today. This is a really great event, and it's a little different than the roast and rides that we've had in the past. And unfortunately, we're just not able to do the same thing because of COVID. So we're not doing the big roast, but we do have the ride. And so we've got Joni's Ride Across Iowa. And what we're focused on this year, it's all about raising money for these charities. So the first one is the Puppy Jake Foundation. You can talk to Simon Conway. He's raising dollars for that. He's the vice president of their board. The Puppy Jake Foundation is one I've been aware of because they've provided service animals to some of the veterans that I have helped through the years. One, Denny, is here today. Matt was at the last stop that we did in Carroll. But it is a really great foundation providing those service animals. The second is the Derecho Disaster Recovery Fund, as part of the, I believe, the Cedar Rapids Community Greater Fund. So it's another really great opportunity to give to those families that were impacted by the derecho and that storm. So all of the ticket sales, that's what it's going towards. It's not going to fundraising for my campaign. It is simply about doing it for charity this year. So I'll stop there, and it was a beautiful ride. For those that weren't able to do the ride, it was extraordinary today. The weather is perfect, and we have some beautiful leaves out there, some great harvesting going on in the field, so it was just a really good time today. We'll kick off again tomorrow and head on out to eastern Iowa. Questions?
Senator, with the judiciary hearings starting on Monday, there's a big focus on women's health. Half of Iowans support abortion rights, and you've seen kind of a drop-off in support among women for your campaign. What do you say to women who are on the fence about supporting you in light of this nomination?
Well, they should be supportive because I'm fighting for things like child care for moms and dads, and that was even pre-COVID, fighting to make sure that pre-existing conditions will be covered regardless of anything that happens out there. My sister and my brother are both type 1 diabetics. Fighting, of course, for paid family leave is something that I have been working on in the United States Senate. So there's so many things that women really should be focused on. Another issue is I'm talking to suburban moms all across the state. They are really concerned about what they see happening in other states right now with the protests and the violence. So when it's happening in Kenosha, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Omaha, St. Louis, when they see that happening in other communities, they start thinking, what's going to happen if it comes here? So they're worried about their small businesses, they're worried about their children and the impact that that would have. So there's a lot of reasons why women should be supportive of Republicans up and down the ticket.
Senator, what about the potential for Roe v. Wade being overturned?
I have said time and time again, everyone knows that I am pro-life. I value life, and I think every human being brings something very good into this world. But there is a 50-year precedent there, and it would be very dependent upon the case that would come in front of the Supreme Court. We want justices that will follow the Constitution. I don't want justices that will be legislating from the bench. So it's very dependent upon a case at this point. I think the opportunity for overturning Roe v. Wade is minimal. I've said that before. So again, I'm not putting a litmus test out there, will you or will you not do this or that. I'm just simply asking, are you going to follow the Constitution? That's my litmus test.
Senator, on the issue of women, there's data that shows a huge gender gap between supporters of the president and supporters of Vice President Biden. I'm curious, given what you've just said about the importance of getting that vote, how you're going to address that, given that the president appears to be having some trouble with women's support in the state.
Always running my own campaign and running on my record, again, going back to issues that are really important to women, child care, paid family leave, making sure that, of course, one thing that I hear from my mother is Social Security and Medicare. And I will always make sure that our seniors have their Social Security and Medicare. I've never once voted to strip away Medicare or Social Security protections for our seniors, and I never will. So those are the issues that women tend to bring to the table and talk about. So making sure that people understand those are my issues. Those are issues I'm working on.
I don't know what question's already answered, but kind of one question we have the confirmation hearings coming up. Just your thoughts on it. How's it going to go?
I'm sorry?
Just your thoughts on it, the outcome.
I'm not going to predetermine the outcome. I've been able to meet with her, and I think that Judge Amy Coney Barrett is just a wonderful, decent person, but she's also a remarkable jurist. And liberals and conservatives that have worked with her have both come forward saying, you can't block her on her job. Because she is very fair-minded. She is a constitutionalist. So I'm excited to see how the hearings go, but what I am hoping is that the Democrats move away from their bigoted attacks based on her faith. We certainly did not see that with Ruth Bader Ginsburg or anyone else on the court. They should not be attacking her because of her religious faith. So I am excited to see the hearings and participate in those hearings next week. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, a couple more questions.
Yep.
Real quick,
Yep.
it's really quick.
Yep, go ahead.
Earlier you said you were open to getting tested before the hearings. Will you, yes or no, now after being out and about, hugging folks?
Again, yeah, I was just tested. It was negative. But again, it is up to the chairman, and we'll follow those protocols. Whatever is established for the Senate Judiciary Committee, most certainly I will follow whatever that guidance is.
One last question, guys.
Senator, I'm curious, we've obviously been asking you about the nomination process for the U.S. Senate. Are Iowans actually asking you about that? Do you feel like that is one of those issues that they're actually asking you about?
They are, and surprisingly, probably about 2 to 1, they're in favor of getting the confirmation done as quickly as possible. So it is an issue people are interested in, but what I hear a lot about too, and maybe even more so right now than even the confirmation process, is getting a COVID relief package done. So a lot of folks have been asking, are you going to do that before the election, or are you not? And so, believe me, we are working in Congress right now. Republicans and Democrats want to see a COVID relief package. At least I am hopeful that they do. I continue to work with my colleagues. We know Iowans need relief, and that's what we should be focusing on too. We can do two things at once.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Thank
so
you,
much.
everybody. Thanks for coming out.